Okay, this was only right. And other self, and so you have selected, this is by default, data right import user to have given the name and run. This country will look at and refresh this. So you got this table. Just do a select. Your data is blank, right? So even ID would have also auto-populated. So that's not an issue. You know, just give some ID here, random ID which is not available in your system, and give like you know. Okay. 3, 4, 5. I'm giving the first name, like you know. You said I really should be. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm giving last name. Okay in the mail. So with it out, 1, 2, 3 and the red mailcom status key 1 and simple. I left this is gone. Okay and finish. Okay. So ideas again, I'll give you like 3, 5, 6. I'll give this Sunny. And the 3 and third is, don't. We will see the red mailcom and status key 1 and will simply give the update. Okay. So what I did actually. It updated that love dated automatically right bearings time soon. So you can utilize this table you know, for your training purpose. How you can do that? If you come back here, this is for the full importing. Right now you have to utilize this import XML file. And what is here? Not filled. Okay, any other thing? Mapper. I think some data mapping column is missing. Copy it here and test it here. Okay. So this is data mapping. Okay, there is a break. Get it back. And this is your query. Okay, and generate a mail. Okay, I'm giving it a force because I have already imported it. Email address. So update, check for rules and user oppression to move it, otherwise it will take only update. It won't allow any creation of the thing record sample. Remove this one and use the reconciliation field as usual. You have given your username. Okay, same information P you're passing. So same query also, like you know, you're to pass it, what column name you are giving here. What is 0-day provisioning? Oh yeah, that's a good question. We'll come to that, because that's the important part, actually, we cannot miss that. Okay, it's like a take rule. We have to implement it. All. All has a meaning. I'll come to this 0-day provisioning. Do you know? Just generate email right check rules. So this is the biggest thing in a if you go for the check rule. So without this check rule, nothing gonna work okay, so that's why it is required actually. So this 0-day provisioning and the check rule, it work both together. If you miss any of the attribute like false, it won't work. Okay, no risk. I'll come to that point because I cannot miss also this one. So we had like 4 column here and we have also taken an ID column there, right? So ID column, you can place it again here. So ID, we are mapping to username. False name, we are mapping to first name, last name instead of skip. Just before that, check this, failing what we have taken here. Okay, otherwise we will face a lot of issue. That's why simple. Just I couldn't copy this last time. We have email attribute right here. Copy this email attribute. Let me taken and give the name here. Copy. This should be last name. Last name, and here it should be email. Email and seizure email. ID, first name, last name, email status key. Right status key. Okay, we are not considering the update date right, because update date right it is like an incremental part of it. So you see the incremental column right, update it. Okay, so these value right, update date. It is, playing a bigger role in your column. Okay. Okay. So now we have the incremental column, update it. So, based on this date actually, it will pick the user. Okay, and what incremental value you need actually if you go to the document, right? It will be description, giving the more information here, right? To perform incrementally in producer user for similar format following the XML. Okay, so the similar format. You can follow this thing and what they have it. Incremental column, update it should. Date format is timestamp. Okay, so these thing you can email. So this note, just have a look. The default value for the user operation net is create an update. So if no value, okay, forget about this. Okay, I'll come to this picture later. Consider the following scene. When incremental attribute is set to update it, when date format is set as timestamp, the comparison incremental is based on timestamp. Okay, and it's a set date. The update comparison for increment average is based on this thing. So basically, it is telling when date format is set as a timestamp. Okay, so we do not have a timestamp. Our date format is, it is a date right. If you go back, so this update date sorry. Yeah, it is the timestamp only right. See how it is taking in the back end. So update date it is maintenance timestamp and in the timestamp right it is given current and of course, timestamp. Okay, and what they're telling. So it is applicable for us not. This is below 1. So when date format is set as a date, this one, when date format set as a timestamp, the update comparison for incremental input is based on timestamp. So basically it is telling. It will consider your, even fraction of second. Also, if it is a simple date, right, it will take only particular day to date. Like it will bring for your only today data, but if you're using a timestamp along with the date, it will take the time also, like 9 hour 9 minute, 9 hour 10 minutes. So this data it will consider. Okay. So these are the like you know data or the things you can mention here to you know face, so try this one right. So this is not only the data right. You have to place a query here, right? So simple. It is little give the data from the users, but what data we required actually, right? So you have to think of the query. There will be where clause will be, here right where clause you have to give select first name. So the select ID, first name, last name, email status and department. OK from users. Where OK, where update date OK, equal to right. Update date -3, something like you have to give then only it will give you the previous 3 hour of data, right? Because how it will know the incremental icon you have specify all the things but you are not telling you know, as a incremental data from previous 12 hour or 24 hours, for how many hour it should bring the data. Right simple. We have made a update column but you know this is we are telling this update data columns to be incremental but we are not telling from how many past hour it should bring the data. So you have to specify that in the query right and you can search in the Google or you have to come up with the query, how we can bring the data from the previous 3 years back. Only 3 hours back, not more than that. So once this data is, you know it is prepared. Come back to here. Go to the job control panel right and in the incremental icon again you have to add a new job. OK, give a trigger name. Like you know, test. Sorry, can it be a test training? Import. I miss in right. Submit it. Oh, sorry, it shouldn't be a space, or you can give a